In this video, in this episode, we're going to be building the trike, and specifically, we're going to be building the wheels. So I've got these hub motors that I got free from old dilapidated, damaged rental bike, and I'm going to be changing the spokes over to use 14-inch wheels, kind of like the same size wheels as on this mother-in-law bike I built. So yeah, I had to change this one. These are 26-inch wheels on that hub motor, but I actually bought those hub motors, but this one was free, and yeah, there you go. So yeah, it needs to be pushed over, so might even need to spread these forks out a little bit. So yeah, so the first step here is I'm just gonna remove all these spokes. I think some of them are even missing. I'm just gonna cut them off. So let's do that. I'm not sure you really need to see me cut them off, but that's what I'm gonna do. There we go. I got you on the tripod so you can actually see me cut off spokes, because this is going to be exciting. So we need to get these out of these holes. Let's see, I got my trash back ground there. That's where everything ends up anyway. And I will tell you, working here on the bench with a vise, if I ever drop anything, it's a nightmare to find it. So little screws, clips, those kinds of things. I need to take the rotor off to get those other ones out. I've got my trusty bike multi-tool, which I got from my brother-in-law. He just left it, so he didn't really give it to me. He just left it. So he said I could have it instead of coming and get it. Oh, it's been very useful. Very useful doing bikes. It pretty much contains all of the ones that you need to work on a bike. Of course, that's the purpose of it, the whole point of it, but it can be a little bit of a pain because see how it wants to bend. But that's the least of. I'm probably going to fast forward through this, so I'm going to so talking to you is probably pointless. So I've used these motors to make bikes. The ones that come from the rental bikes. There was a website that was selling them because they bought a whole bunch of them, and Jump went out of business, or was bought by Uber, I believe, or somebody. They had a whole bunch of them, but they're out of them. So the cheap ones are not available anymore to buy. So free ones are the way to go. Yeah, it's probably not a good chance that you're going to find a free one. However, it's possible you can find a cheap one. You know, those ones I bought, the black ones with the multiple sprockets for 5-speed or 7-speed or 21-speed. I paid $80 for those, so those are brand new from a company that went out of business building bikes. So if you look around, sometimes you can get them cheap. So much easier now. There is, you know, a cheaper way to make an electric bike. It's a lot more work though, because you can use it. Well, you could use a gas motor, frankly, and get it to power the chain. They even sell kits for that on eBay. But yeah, I'm no fan of that. Electric's the way to go. But you can also do an electric one. It's a little harder to find DC electric motors that have any power that are cheap, but you can. Another source for electric motors would be, I think I have one sitting right here, I can show you, is electric lawnmowers, the battery powered ones. Once the electric motor, once the batteries die in those things, or the blade dies, or the blade breaks, or it starts losing its tension, losing its sharpness. Basically, anytime those electric motors, the battery powered lawnmowers fail, you can buy them, but the motor itself is usually always good. That's usually not the reason why they're bad. And I don't see one. The other source for motors are starter motors. They're really not efficient at all. They're made to run very short periods of time, like in a matter of seconds. But winch motors are also another option. They run on 12 volts. But they're not designed to run continuously either. Much longer than a battery, than a starter motor. All right, we're done with this. Okay, with the wheel off, we can get a better shot at this. So we've got basically 4 inches. And the center is 2 1/4. It's basically right here. So we need to write that down. So we got 4 inches across, and then 2 1/2 center. I think that's all we need from here, and then we got to go to the computer. Alright, so to do the spoke thing, we use we go to this web page, Grin Technologies. It's a company in Canada that makes electric bikes, and they built this awesome calculator for hub motors. And unfortunately, the Bafang, the one we have is not exactly the same, but you need to measure the flange diameter, and it'll tell you the diameter of the spoke holes on the motor flange. So I'll save you from all this time, but basically you can go there and it'll explain all of the ways to measure things. The key that we had to check on the actual bike is the 2.5 inch center. So there you go. Alright, so we need to measure the wheel, so I'm going to go ahead and take this wheel apart. Basically take the tire off, take all the spokes off. This is the front wheel from that $10 bike. Use a spoke wrench. Go in here and unscrew them. So see, that's righty tighty, lefty loosey. And go left. They're pretty tight. So just do one at a time. Like a little quarter turn. And just go all around, that way it doesn't warp the wheel. It's time consuming to do this work. I've done a number of them. And you can see why they charge a lot for it. And then I'm just taking the spokes out of the hub. It's pretty straightforward. Come out easy. This was kind of straight up, so I switched the left one to the outside. And there we go. We got 130 millimeters and 133. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I cut these spokes. We did the calculations, and the ones that I showed earlier are actually incorrect. I don't know if it, but because I measured 2 1/4, and then I said 2 1/2. I don't know if you watched, anybody noticed that, and they picked up on that. And I wrote down 2 1/4, and I didn't know, so I had to go back and change it. But now pretty much these are all the same size, so that makes it a little easier. And what I do is basically I just put it in the vise and I mark it with a piece of tape where this goes. So it's supposed to be 5/15 to the center line. So we got 5/15, and then I just put the tape on the back, so this thing just goes to the back. I just tighten it up, and then I just cut it off right there. So yeah, it's just time consuming. I'm gonna put on my ear protection. I don't think I need gloves for this. So I just go like this. Vise, take it out. The tape's kind of holding the vise together. And put it in the done pile. Move on to the next one. So yeah, we're just going to do this 72 times because I got 2 wheels to do. And another one I tried just holding the bunch like this, and then they're just going, and I found out that that didn't work very well. They're all very different lengths, and some of them were too short, and then I had to go back and find some new, when they're too short. When they're too long, you can always cut them. When they're too short, it doesn't need to be in that vice perfect, just really just too short. Cut them longer. So I had to find some more spokes from a different bike, and unfortunately I've got plenty of free bikes around here. Although now that I've made that second mother-in-law bike my daughter actually fixed one up and made it into a regular bike that worked for her. And she's going to school in UC Berkeley. She wanted a bike. But someone stole her bike. Steel bike. So this bike is a crappy bike. I put a crappy seat on it, crappy handle grips. So hopefully it's not when someone sell them. I don't know who they sell them to, because if you sell them on Craigslist, people are going to see that it's for sale and track you down. If you have any kind of markings on it that you know it's good. So I'm just I have to turn the video off because you don't want to see me do the 72 times. Right? That would be totally boring. And probably my chitter chatter's boring too. You know, if I did this more often, I would probably make something better to do this quicker. I don't know what the bike shops probably have something. You just push it in there and it cuts it just the right way, and then you don't need to mess. My vise is messed up. I think I got some epoxy onto the mechanism, and now it doesn't. Here. It was I can't remember, but I think it might have got into the threads. Of course, it's moves the jaws. It's a little sticky. Yeah, if you had something, you could just set the distance, and you just stick it in there, and poof, cuts it off. You could just go poof, poof, poof. Yeah, but you know, one thing I've learned over the years, I like building things like that. I like building machines that save time, and of course, over the years. So, unless you're doing it a lot, it's not worth doing. Now, if you just want to do it because it's interesting, which is often the way I view things, look for a solution to the problem. That's what I like to do. But you know, you can see all my projects I have at this point in time. I have more projects building something that cuts spokes. So a vise and a grinder. Try and do it fast. You can do it a little faster. I'm probably gonna have to turn the volume down on it. I have a headphones or ear protection on, and Yeah, it's still going. I put a new battery in it, so this may go on and on. I guess you can fast forward. That's the beauty of YouTube, right? Now I use a bench grinder. I finished cutting them all. And I got my computer glasses on. Alright, so the next step in building these wheels is I have to thread the spokes I just cut. So to do that you need this tool. I don't know how much this costs. You can get them on eBay. I can't recall. It's 50 bucks, 100 bucks, something like that. And you just put the spoke in there, you tighten it up, and they have a hand crank, but I just use a drill. So you gotta get it started. Sometimes it's tough. And that is way more threads than I need. Back off. Undo that, and now we've got threads, and this rolls the threads. It doesn't cut the threads. It just presses on the steel and pushes out the threads. So now I just have to do this 71 more times. So it goes pretty quick with the drill. I don't know if you really want me to. You want me to chat for 72 more spokes? I don't think so. So I'm just gonna do them all. I'm not gonna show you all of them. I'm just gonna do them. Alright, I'm about halfway through or so, and I've got to take a little break, I think, because it's just too boring. And you can see sometimes they get stuck because you gotta press hard. There we go. Finally goes. But sometimes they doesn't work. You gotta press hard, and I think it's pretty much because some of these are bent. So before I lace up this hub motor, now I got the spokes all done, I wanted to test it and make sure it works, because I haven't done that yet. So I just got this 24 volt controller. You got the motor wires hooked up. I've got there's a connection that tells it to test it, and there we go. It spins, and it's even going the right way. So that's good. I don't need to change the settings on this controller. So okay. So this motor works, and I'm going to go ahead and start lacing it up. Alright, so to lace the motor, we made the spokes connect. Go to the outside on the disc brake side. Let me check. Yeah. So they go to the outside like this. So I gotta come through here. And go to the outside. On the disc brake side, because that is shifted more to one side. Okay, so then you've got to cross them. So this one goes to the next you skip a hole, which is the upper hole, and you do one cross. we're cross threading. Okay, so then we do the next one. So this one now crosses this way. So here's the downside hole. We skip that one. This one that way. This one crosses over this way. A single cross pretty straightforward. They have a double cross and a triple cross, but you can't really do those with these short spokes. And then you got a skinny hub and a 26-inch wheel. Alright, let's do the next one. Once again, this one goes here. This one. I really should double check all the time. What else can you see in the background? I have done these wrong. I have to take it all apart. 36 of these. So that probably means I should give you some inside information or something because you're actually watching me. You're listening to me gibber. I was thinking of painting these. I mean, pink is not my favorite color. But nice. It's not like rusty or paint's bad in some ways. And I got two of them that match, so. When I made the mother-in-law bike, the first one, I tried to make it festive looking. I'm done. So we're done with the bottom one. Now I can start on the top. So this fills in right there. So start there. But yeah, you probably don't want it to be a food service. I think I'm going to break in here and get something to eat. Alright, so I get to tell you a joke about that. It's like, how come a food truck doesn't deliver? It sounds like a food truck would be something that delivers food, but no, a food truck is always stationary. You have to go to the truck. I thought that was funny. Side start tightening them. So yeah, first we get it all together. We're all connected. This right now, see that thing is so basically I'm going to set it onto the bike. What? I don't know. Now you can't see it, right? It's disappeared. So yeah, I got it on the bike now, and you can see the lovely pink. But you know, you want the rim to be centered, and you can see that it's, if you look at it right here, right, that's kind of centered. So we've got to make sure we're pulling things over here. So we don't want to pull this. We don't want to tighten them up on this side. We want to tighten them up on that side, but you know, first I just want to see how bad it really is. And yeah, I mean it's really pretty bad right here. All right, I got them all kind of tight, and then you know, just none of them are just hanging loose. And so now I gotta just start tightening them up to straighten this wheel out, and you can see it's pretty wonky. I should probably actually bolt it down. But you know, it's not. Yeah, it's about centered in the forks. It's good enough. But it's got to run straight. It's not wavy this way here, but obviously it's wavy this way. So you just, to straighten it out, you just start tightening up the ones, you know, when it needs to go this way, you just tighten the ones that pull it into that direction, especially now because they're not tight, so I don't really need to loosen any of the other ones. And the way other people tell you is you can get some a zip tie and tie it here, around here, and then you can have a little pointer so you can get precise. I try and do that sometimes, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. All right, so I'm calling this good enough. It's certainly it's not bad. It's not perfect. I'm calling it good enough. Move on. So I can put the tire back on now. Alright, put the tire on, and there we go. Fill full of air. Spins just fine. Looks pretty straight. I mean, once you put the tires on. So, okay, got one done. Now I got to do the next one. All right, so I got this thing all. I got that all done. The wheels on, and it's all full of air. I got it sitting in. So I got both wheels now, and I've got another. I got two of these bikes, and so I'm gonna get the other one because you know, we love the pink. All right, so I got this finished, and I'm just gonna close out this video. This is I'll post this one. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and you know, join the Patreon so you can maybe get this motorhome. I'm giving it away. So so yeah. So next up is I'm going to be trying to put together the configuration of the trike. So that'll be the next one, I think. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.